One, two, three. Hi, everyone. Aaron Ninness from Denver, Colorado, your mortgage professional, here with another episode of How Much Can I Afford? Today's episode actually has nothing to do with affordability, but actually it's just a conversation about who is all involved in the home buying process. As you go through this, really you start off with this idea of I want to look at homes, and what you're going to get introduced to is lots of people on the way. So I just wanted to spend a quick moment to kind of talk about who those people are and what their roles play. So first off, you have folks like myself. I am a loan officer, would be the correct title for me. I am basically employed by a lender, in this case, New American Funding, great company, and they give me the opportunity to help people with their home financing. My job is to take your application, find the best solutions for you on a loan that would help you finance a home. Now, to go and look at those homes, you need to engage with a real estate agent. A real estate agent is someone who is licensed by the state to carry out or conduct business on your behalf. They write contracts, they help you with negotiation, finding properties. All the properties are listed on what's called the Metro List Service, or MLS, and they can go out and find out, what's for sale, take you to these properties, help you go under contract. One thing I always like to know is there's our real estate agents and there's realtors. A realtor is someone who is part of the National Association of Realtors, and they do have to belong to a board. When you belong to a board, there are certain ethics standards that you have to hold to, continuing education, which all agents do have to take continuing education, but boards do add an extra layer to be considered a realtor. So you'll see a lot of folks out there who are proud to be realtors. It's a great fact. And really, it just means that they have promised to hold themselves to just a little bit higher standard than just being a real estate agent. Okay? All right, so once you go under contract, chances are you're going to want to have the house inspected. So you need a home inspector. 9 times out of 10, the home inspector is going to be a referral from your real estate agent. One of the big jobs of a real estate agent is to be well networked and to know the top professionals who can assist you with looking at a home. A home inspector is going to go through everything from top to bottom, looking in attics, looking at drainage, windows. I know every inspection I've ever had on a home I've owned, they go and check every single plug just to make sure that they actually work. Are the plugs in the kitchen grounded? Are the ones in the bathroom grounded? GFCIs. So there's an inspector. Now, the other kind of inspector that you commonly will run into is a sewer inspector. These are basically inspections where they run a camera down the sewer line and they go all the way out to the road. Now, where the sewer meets your sewer line is basically the difference on who pays for it if it breaks. And in Colorado, because of the trees, the droughts we've had, the trees send out their roots to find more water. In the process, they come up to your sewer drains, move them out of the way. Back in the old days, they actually didn't use PVC, wasn't invented yet. They used clay pipes that they fitted together. So we do have sewer issues commonly in homes. And so it's not uncommon for you to request a separate inspector who comes down. They send a scope down and actually videotape the entire sewer drain all the way out to make sure it's clean of debris, breaks, cracks, anything like that, okay? Those are inspectors. If you run into a more egregious issue, a large issue with something like foundation, where maybe down in the basement you noticed a huge crack where the house was settling, or a patio outside is offset from where it was. You could see it sank. We do have a lot of expansive clay soil in the Denver metro area, and so we do have general expansions that happen, and that stuff is kind of common. But if you feel like you have a severe issue, you might want to get yourself a structural or civil engineer who comes and actually gives you a review of the foundation and if there's any issues that you would want. That's very different than a home inspector. These are real engineers that they've got degrees, a lot of them have certifications, and they're going on your behalf to find out if there's any major issues. Now, once we get past the inspection phase, typically that's where a lender is going to order an appraisal. The appraisal is done by an appraiser. There are certified licensed appraisers in the state. Again, all this is heavily regulated. That appraiser is chosen at random. What they don't want to see is a loan officer or a buyer say, we want to make sure this appraisal comes in at value. Here's $100, Mr. Appraiser. Please give me the report I want. That's why we do everything in what is called a pool, a blind pool. We have a pool of appraisers we know work with, but we don't know who's actually doing the appraisal till we get the report back. And that's meant just to keep everything nice and fair, nice and straightforward, without any outside influences. Appraisers complete the report. They are independent contractors. They do not work for the lenders themselves. And so it's kind of it's very much an arm's length transaction in that point. Outside of that, then you have title and escrow, which is officers or closers. You'll see title and escrow is basically the clearinghouse for two main items. One, they're going to make sure that the property is transferred into your name legally, that you legally have owned it, and that the county knows who owns it and all the records match. Okay. The second thing that a title company is going to do is make sure that title is clean, that you are buying a home without any encumbrances, meaning past loans or past ownership that wasn't cleared. We want to make sure that you own a home with just your name on it, just you and title, and with the loan in place, only the one loan. If I give you money for home financing, I as a lender want to make sure that we are first position. The escrow side of title and escrow means that they are actually the clearinghouse for all funds. Down payment, earnest money, everything is brought to the title company, and they release all the funds to make sure that the previous owner's lien was paid off their loan, that your loan is in place, that your down payment is accounted for. That's who that individual is. Typically, who presents your paperwork at the closing is called a closer or a title closer or a notary. And they're just an independent person, again, to keep it arm's length. That way, I'm not giving you instructions about what you're signing. Your real estate agent isn't. It's a third party who's explaining everything to you. After that, you're done with the transaction and you're officially a homeowner. But hopefully this gives you a better idea of who you're going to have involved and also why it's so important to work with top-notch professionals. We all work together all the time, and working with the best means that we probably are also going to refer you the best. So hopefully that gives you a better insight into who your team players or the main game players are in your transaction. As always, subscribe if you like the information you're getting. Give me a like and keep watching additional episodes. Thanks so much. We'll see you on the next one.